Hello everybody, I've got another image to work sent in by Patty, and this is Patty's website, and this is whose file we'll be working. The image is of a senior boy, and Patty tells me that he has a bit of an acne problem, so she wanted to see what I could do with it. So let's just see, what can I do with it? Alright, how about if first of all we run our default preset. Oh, that makes a big difference, doesn't it? And a little weird in the skin, maybe just a little bit. So I'm gonna take that down just a little bit, make it not quite so bright. And we are going to adjust the blacks and adjust the shadows just a tiny bit. Now let's go down here to the color mixer, and you know, you get this highlight in the background. See that highlight right there? Now when you get that kind of thing, you can shift yellow. Now you be careful, because keep in mind we do not want to crazy out the skin, but we can shift yellow to green. Did you see that? See that? Now I'm not going to do it because this particular fella has, watch, I'll show you, some yellow teeth. And when I shift the yellow to green, his teeth go green. So that's why I'm not going to do this. I'm going to show you another way to do it in Photoshop. But let's say that, I don't know, who knows what kind of subject we're talking about, but you can shift. This is another feature in this color mixer. See, look how much more fun that is to look at. Let me put that back to 0. What I will do is I will change the green to a little bit darker and a little more saturated. Alright, we're going to say done there, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this image, Tool, Photoshop, Image Processor, and when it opens up, as we've said many times before, 4-step process, open from bridge. Number 2, save in same locate. Oh, that's the wrong processor. Sorry about that, y'all. Let's go back to bridge. Tools, Photoshop. That was Image Processor Pro, which is a whole different animal. This straight image processor. 1, from bridge. 2, same location. We're going to go JPEG, quality 12. We are not going to resize it. We do want it to be sRGB. And we're going to run the KV workflow, portraiture first run. Now what's that doing? That's adding just a little teensy bit of softness to the image. Now once that runs, we can open up the image and we can start working on it. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of those yellow teeth. Now I have an action, and now watch, I'll show you how fast it is. I just hit the action, and then what I do is I wipe the teeth. And it's being wiped at 50% so that it can come off at different stages. So that's how fast it happens. Now I'm going to undo that, okay, and show you what happens in that action. What happens is it opens up hue and saturation, and it goes to the yellow channel. It desaturates yellow and, desaturates, yellow. Let me turn on the preview. Desaturates yellow, and it brings it up just a little bit, like that, brightness on it. Click OK. Then it makes a state called teeth, and then undoes it and sets the paintbrush into the history brush into that area, to where whenever I paint from the history brush, I am painting that minus yellow state. So just like that, you clean up the teeth. Okay, so that's the first thing. So before I get into his skin, though, I do want to address this yellow blob of highlight back here. Another thing that you can do is you can open up hue and saturation, change it to any color, and click on the thing you want to adjust. And what happens is this top line is now what it is, and the bottom line is what it will become. Now if you notice, we're very much into the yellow-red area, so it's going to take a few extra steps. I'm going to broaden it just a little bit to make sure I'm getting that color. And then watch it. Forget what happens to his skin. Just notice what happens to that yellow blob. Now I can make it a nice green color, and I can darken it just a little bit. Okay, maybe I went a little too far. Right there. Click OK. Now look what it's done to his skin. He's got this weird skin hue going on. So I will click on this state, the thing that I just did, put the little paintbrush with the line arrow back on it, and then I'm going to undo it. So now his skin is back to normal. And what I'll do is everywhere I paint with this paint, with that history brush, it is going to put it that nice green color. So all I have to do is go in here, stay away from his skin. That's going to get a little tricky right here. Stay away from his skin, and I can control that yellow blob. Just like that. Okay. That looks pretty doggone good, if I do say so myself. All right, so then I usually go straight into the face, but I'm still messing with this yellow blob. And I'm going to paint in shadows with protected tones. Oh, shucks. Excuse me. I'm going to burn in shadows in mid-tones, 30%, protected tones off, just to take it down a little bit more. Okay. And then finally, the only thing kind of bothering me is you know, Photoshop sometimes does this. I missed this whole area. I don't know why. So what I'll do is I'll take my paintbrush, move it into color mode, hold down my Alt Option key, sample this, and then what I'll do is I just paint it. That way I keep the texture, but I get the color I want. Anywhere else I want that color, maybe I want a little color right there. Maybe I want a little color right there. This is a tree limb. How about in here? Oh, I got into his shirt too much. Maybe in this area right in here. So you know, you can get it, that background, exactly the way you want it. Okay, now let's get into his skin. First, I like to zoom into the eyeballs, and you must have had some sort of auxiliary flash here, because I see this sun, you know, the light coming in here, but then you got this hard light right here. All right, so to adjust that hard light, because I don't like that. I just don't like that. I like the catch light to be in the color part of the eye. So what I'll do is I'll use my paintbrush in normal mode, 100%, painting with black, and I'll just dot it like that. Dot it. Now, gone. Then what you have to do, though, is you have to put in that catch light back. You have to put it right back. And you got to put it right in here. So I'm going to paint in mid-tones. Oh, I don't know, probably 40-ish%. Take protective tones off. I'm going to paint right there. Paint right there. Add my little swoosh we've talked about before. Hold down your Alt Option key, which turns it into the burn tool. Burn that little area. Just like that. So now I'm happy with the eyes. Now I'll start going further and further out. Now, since this little guy's got a bit of an acne problem, what you have to do is you have to constantly stay looking for clean skin. Sometimes hard to do, so next to this red dot on his forehead, I got me some clean skin. All right, and so if you keep looking for clean skin, getting out those acne bumps, not too hard. Okay, just clicking and going along, taking each one of them out. I'm going to show you one other thing I do. Once I get them, the bumps, the texture removed, it sometimes leaves a little bit of a redness. Okay, so out here on the edges, he's got some acne trouble. And you know, this is I just kind of say to myself, you know, whenever I'm doing this, this is part of the job. It is time consuming. Fortunately, not every senior that comes in has an acne problem. It's actually kind of rare now these days that I've noticed. And so since it's rare, I just say, okay, this is part of the job, and I do it. I just take it one step at a time. And sometimes it is kind of time consuming, but what you gonna do? All right, getting all his little bumps out, and right there, right in there. Here we go, these over here on the left side. Okay, that's starting to look much cleaner. Somewhere down in here is a few. His neck looks like. Okay, much better than it was before. Okay, very good. Let's take a look. Yeah, definitely smoother, definitely cleaner. Now, in some of these areas, like in here, you get a little bit of redness. Okay, something you can do, Control U, again, go to Hue Saturation. Go to the red channel, but don't forget, you got to click on it. So click in here to make sure it's exactly where you want it. You could desaturate it just a smidgen. You don't want to get it too weird. And then move it to the right ever so slightly, like 6. There we go. 4. We turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on. Okay, so I personally feel like it went a little too far, which is good. That's what I want. Click OK, do our little history trick again, where we're going to paint from this history state, undo it, and paint at 50%-ish. Only in the areas that bother you. See? Painting in here and there, removing that little bit of redness. And that really cleans it up. Just like that. Retouching on the nuclear level. Okay, let's get this little bump out. All right, now let's take soften this line right in here. Now, with boys, I like to fade 50% of that back in. So that's how I do it. I healing brush it out. Then I hit Shift Command F, opens up healing brush, put in 50%, click enter, done. So that gets him retouched to the degree that I would like his face. Let's look at him. All right, yeah, starting to like this little guy. Now I always do like to run a little bit of at the end, my little bit of a perfect soft action, and click on the skin. Now again, because this is a guy right there, I don't want to put a whole lot of softening on him. He's already self-conscious. So I got all that stuff off, and then you notice it's only like 14%, so it's not much. But I do want to add a little bit more warmth to this image. It's outside. He had some weird redness going on his skin, so popping up the warmth helps that. A little bit of contrast, I like it. Then end with a levels adjustment, like that. Hold down your Alt or Option key to have it switch to where you can graphically see what you're working on. And just like that, we are, I'm going to say we are done. All right, hope that helps somebody. You guys have a fantastic day. And if you want me to work your files, let me know. Bye-bye.